How's it going, guys? This is Dubk Podcast, episode number 9. We're going to call this one, Can I Win? So, first I didn't think I could win. And last time we spoke, I was getting prepared to go to the regional here in Phoenix. And I ended up finishing that regional 5-4. Very embarrassing. I made the mistake I used to make in the past before I decided to knuckle down and just play my game instead of playing everyone else's game. I played a different deck. I ended up playing Mech Knights with like the Orcus engine splashed in it. You know, you go 2 monsters into a nightmare into mermaid. And my reasoning was I didn't want to lose the Dweller. And yeah, I know it's stupid. I should have just played Orcus as the deck I've been playing for months. Now, mind you, this is before the October ban list, so this is late. But I'm just now coming here to talk to you guys about it. I had to get my thoughts together. I'm really frustrated about that. But to be honest, it's my first regional since 2013. And so I don't really know what I was thinking. I should have went into it with the mindset that let's just go have some fun. It's been a while, you know. You have nothing to prove here other than to yourself how good you are. And honestly, it's not even that. I know what my skill level is. And that should be a note to you guys. You know what your skill level is. Just be honest with yourself. And don't blame yourself for getting sacked. You know, I can blame myself that my first 4 rounds were all rogue, and that's why, you know, I dropped the first few games. But really, you know, you look at the tournament structure. If you lose early on, that puts you on a different vector, and then you're going to be playing the decks that lose. And a lot of times the decks that lose are obviously the rogue decks. Now, of course, rogue decks can win, but more often than not, and that's why we have what is called a meta. If a rogue deck is meta, then it's no longer rogue now, is it? Anyway, like I said, I didn't get my invite. And my side deck was ill prepared to face rogue for some reason. I just thought I was going to be playing meta all day. But that requires you to win the first 3-4 rounds. Cut your way through the weeds, cut through the jungle, and then get onto the good stuff. And I thought I could do that, but I didn't. And that's entirely my fault. And I had to live with that. Next, I want to talk to you guys about redemption, so to speak. Now, I really want to get back on my grind. So for the next several weeks, you probably won't be seeing me put up any wacky decks. They're still in my mind. I have several of them built, but I really need to knuckle down. I really need to get on my competitive grind. And so in doing that, my goal is to top the Pro Play Tour in Las Vegas coming up next month, December, I believe. How excited would it be if your boy got a feature match and I won the feature match, or I made top cut? How exciting would that be? I know it'd be super exciting for me. Be redemption for the several feature matches I got during the Shonen Jump and the YCS days years ago. Where I just got bombed on. Just folded like a little puppy. And so much disappointment. But I think that if I put my head down into it, I can perform like I was 2011, 2012, 2013, where I just didn't care what everyone else was running. I ran my deck my way, and then I sided for the matches that were difficult. You know, back then, whether it was during the plant format, or it was Ravine rulers. I was extremely confident in the mirror match, but the side deck, was tailored toward the matches that were more difficult. Whether it be the Macro Rabbit back in the day or the Ophion.deck, Evil Swarm. That's what the side deck was for, and I was successful back then. Multiple tops. See my video road to Anaheim from several years ago, where I showed off all my top cut mats and my deck boxes from winning all those regionals back then. But yeah, I think that's gonna be my goal. And to prepare myself, I want to start a new series of videos, and then I think I'm going to call it Win My Cards Challenge. This is going to force me to play under pressure. So what I'm going to do is it won't be two random people. It'll be me versus someone else. And if they win, they get to choose a random hollow out of one of my deck boxes. Not for my deck, obviously I need that, but my deck boxes, I have so much junk, so many cards. And I'm not talking about random hollows from not dual terminal, but random dual terminal hollows. I'm talking about, relatively playable cards, whether it be side deck staples or, just generically good cards worth $3 to $5 hollows. Maybe I'll throw in maybe as things progress, I'll throw in some higher end cards. But it'll be random, it'll be 10, 15 cards, and shuffle them up, and the opponent wins. They get to pick one of them. And, that will put the pressure on me. That will motivate my opponent to play really well. And if I win, I get the experience. I won't require anything of my opponent. They don't owe me anything. But I feel that if I put something on the line, that should be sufficient evidence or sufficient motivation to give it my all. What do you guys think? You think that's a good idea? I think it's a good idea. Sometimes we have to put ourselves in that mindset to perform well. And I find myself when something's on the line, I perform better. Such is life. Now, I read you guys' comments, and I hear you. The quality is marginally better occasionally. I'm trying to change that. But check this out. So I talked to you guys about the conditions of my setup here in my apartment here in Phoenix. It's been suggested that I record during the day, but I get up at 4:30 in the morning for work, and I get off at 6. So that doesn't give me a lot of options. My window points sort of southwest, so I don't really get any sun. You would think that as the sun is coming down, as the sun is setting, that I would get a nice little shine through the window. However, I live in an apartment complex, so by the time the sun reaches a certain angle in the sky, is blocked out by the other apartments and other buildings in this big ass city. And so I just don't have the sufficient light. I did purchase other lighting, and I'm still trying to figure that out. Someone hit me up about purchasing these sort of LED type lights. They cost a couple $100. I'm trying to decide if that's worth the investment. I don't know how worth the investment is. If my channel was really taking off, I would consider it. Do I want my channel to take off? And should that be the motivation? Possibly. But I have to wrap my mind around spending several $100s on some equipment that I might get to use once a week. You know what I'm saying? The motivation, is strong. Blowing my channel back up, getting the accolades from my fans, from the viewers, guys like you. And so, maybe I really should consider it. Because as it stands, and this is funny, now you guys know when you buy a new video game, or you, whether it be on your phone or for your console or your PC, and you have the DLC characters, and you can kind of see the shadow of the DLC character, but they're locked, so you can't really see any details. With my lighting, that's kind of how I look, and that's why when I do these podcasts, I don't show my face, because with the lighting and my dark skin, I look just like a damn DLC. I look like one of them damn unlockable characters, and that is super not what I want. That's not a good look. So I want to work on that. I want to be able to show my face on camera. Yeah. Now, in terms of editing, help me out here, because really I don't know where to make edits. I've watched people, put slices of life in their edits, kind of quirky little sound effects and little memes here and there. But y'all gotta understand something. I'm 46 years old. This is a hobby for me. Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a hobby. I have grandbabies, and that while the memes are cool and cute and fun, and I understand them surprisingly at my age, that's just not me. I'm not the kind of person who sits up at night looking for memes. Because real talk, if I see a meme, I'll call one of my kids, text my daughter, text my son, say, "Hey, I seen this thing with this cat, and he got this thing in his mouth. What that's supposed to mean?" Then they'll tell me. Then 15 minutes later, like, "Oh, okay, I get it." So I stay up on the memes. I don't always get them right away, but yeah, I know my memes. But in terms of putting them in my videos, that's just so out of character for me. It just wouldn't feel genuine. And for anyone who knows me personally, you would know that it's forced. So that probably won't be happening on my channel. In terms of slice of life, like taking a page from Nim Nim's channel, is superb camera work, superb cinematography. I don't know how comfortable I am setting that up. That requires a lot of work. And like I already said, I work sometimes 16-hour days. And, if this is supposed to be a passion of mine, then I would find the time to go through all that. And, perhaps if someone were to say that to me, I wouldn't be able to argue that. However, I can't see myself doing it. Walking around with my camera, filming every little thing, setting my camera up, a block ahead of where I'm going to be, walking away from it, and then walking towards it, picking it up, then putting a different angle, and then walking towards it again. While that looks awesome in the final cut, the whole process, that just ain't for me, dog. It's gonna be a hard no. So I need to find more creative ways to do edits, add a bit of cinematography, add a bit more spice to my videos. I have yet to find a good solution to it, though. I've had several ideas, but in terms of like a slice of life, My personal life, I don't really want to put that out there over the internet, especially now that I have grandkids. I don't need that kind of exposure. I don't need that. I don't need my business all out there. Um, the most I'm willing to do is to show my face in regards to Yu-Gi-Oh. Just keep my exposure in context to the game that I play. That's pretty much all I'm willing to do. Perhaps I can get little cuts from locals and just kind of build a file of like random scenes from locals, and then kind of interweave those into my content. I'm just kind of freestyling here on ideas, kind of brainstorming. But I understand, I hear you guys. I really do need to step it up. Now, I have a superb camera. I just don't have a superb understanding on how to work that damn thing. Sometimes I get it right and I'll mess with the controls, mess with the settings, and it doesn't look so good. And then a lot of times the lighting just throws everything off, or I'll get the settings just right, but then I'll change the lighting and then everything just kind of falls to hell. So yeah, I'm gonna work on that. So I guess with all that said, I guess this is how I'll be formatting my channel for the foreseeable future. I'm going to be having my podcast. I'm going to try to make those on the weekend. That's when I have the most time to sit down, collect my thoughts. That's when it's the most quiet, because I don't work Saturdays. Today is November 9th, 2019, by the way. There's not a bunch of kids running around outside my window, in the little courtyard area, which makes it difficult to record during the week because kids are running around the courtyard. We have paper thin walls. The neighbors are bamming on the walls or having sex or whatever. And that's super awkward to put on video. You can catch the audio of some moaning and groaning. It's relatively quiet around the apartment. The kids aren't stopping by to visit randomly, beating on the door. What are you doing, Dad? And so yeah, I think I like that. So Saturdays will be the podcast. Sundays is when I go to locals, and at locals, I will be filming my Win My Cards challenge. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get like 3 duels. What do you guys think about that? 3 duels every week. Well, 2 or 3 duels, we'll say that. Because, again, not everyone wants to play on camera. I don't want to play the same person every week. I like to play against a variety of decks. And, yeah, it'd be great to get a variety of people. But I don't know how many people are willing to play on camera for fear of messing up and getting laughed at by the internet, having the internet laugh at them being publicly humiliated. I can't blame them. What do they gain other than winning my cards? But if they lose, they get the humiliation. So yeah, so I have to consider that. And then after I film that, how do you guys think I should edit those videos? Previously, I was just posting each game separately. But honestly, since it'll be me playing a serious deck with me trying to prepare myself to top this next event, and then most events going forward, I think I'm going to do a sort of a voiceover. Yeah, kind of like narrate. Perhaps graphics. I don't know. That could come later, because I don't know anything about graphics. I mean, I have the Adobe graphic thing, whatever. I have like all this shit on my computer. I went and bought all this stuff, all this software for my computer, and I don't even have time to figure out how any of this works. I got this set up got my Blue Yeti and all this stuff for my laptop so I can stream. And I made a Discord server and set up, got the information for Patreon. I was like, I want balls to the wall on this YouTube thing. But then I just didn't have the time to follow up. I get off of work, I'm just tired as shit. But I think if I focus on this, then I can get serious, and then I will indeed find the time to do this right. I appreciate you guys hanging in there. I appreciate the 100 or so views that I get on a video. You guys don't know how much that means to old dude like me. Everybody wants to feel relevant, and even though it's just a few views in comparison to my subscriber count, it means so much that you guys even care. It means even more when you guys comment, even if it's like critique. Just you commenting is just cool. So long as it's nothing ignorant or racist or anything like that, but just like, honest, solid, thoughtful critique or compliments, comments, all that. I appreciate all of that. Well, that's all I got to say. It's the Dubk Podcast, episode number 9. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll talk to you next week.